Faced with the questions around the current uncertainty as the country awaits the formation of a new coalition government, the governor says the work of the SARB will continue as normal.
Whatever the outcome in the next 2 weeks as the political parties jockey to form government, the SARB will continue to work with our colleagues in the National Treasury as well as fellow regulators, and we will continue to account to Parliament and continue to work for the economic betterment of all South Africans.
He noted the latest news that economic growth contracted in the first quarter but appeared more optimistic about the second quarter.
We expect the situation to be different in the second quarter because the second quarter was also characterized by at least 60 days of no load shedding, and that we expect that would make a difference.
The panel faced questions around how investors would be viewing the country currently, as there's still no clarity on what the next government will look like.
Investors are very similar to rating agencies. They judge you based on your own policies and on your own targets. So for now, from the conversations that we've been having, they want to see how the elections go. Are they, is there instability? Is it not? They're looking for whether post-elections we can still implement the policies that we have. Are we going to be able to deal with load shedding? Is fiscal policy going to continue to consolidate? So basically they're looking at how we continue post-election in implementing some of the reforms and some of the policies that we have.
Soweto residents raised the issue of black investors being keen to invest in African Bank, which the Reserve Bank still has a significant stake in, following the bank's curatorship. The governor said it's been resolved that the African Bank should be placed on the JSE for public listing, opening up the opportunity for as many South Africans to invest in the entity as possible.
When nobody could raise the money to buy African Bank, the route that we decided was that we will go the route of an initial public offering. And the route of an initial public offering means that you almost democratize the shareholding. So you're offering the shares to everybody. So whoever can buy 5 shares, 10 shares, somebody might be able to buy 1,000 shares. So the kinds of people that you are mobilizing whether they are in a church, in a stokvel and so forth, continue to pool your savings so that when the shares are offered, you have got the pool to be able to buy those shares.
A question was raised about how far the country is in establishing a state bank. It would seem not very far.
The short answer is there is no application we are sitting with by the state for banking license. And the banking license process is exactly the same, whether you are a private entity or a government entity. You have to go through the exact same process.
In the meantime, Kganyago indicated that inflation still remained too high for the bank's liking. The jury is still out on whether he'll continue his tough stance on inflation or whether he'll give highly indebted South Africans and the broader economy a break and cut interest rates before the year is out. Nompumelelo Siziba, SABC News, Johannesburg.